Hey everyone. As you can see, we are not in our future life project today. I was really looking forward to ending my building there and put in the chimpanzees, maybe the bonobos today, but sometimes shit happens, and it happened today. First of all, my game crashed, so I used around 4 hours of trying to fix it. Nothing happened. So I tried to delete all of my mods, which didn't help. Then I started to check my computer, what's wrong, check a lot of the connections. I couldn't do anything. But finally now, at 3 o'clock now, I'm recording this, so probably around 1 o'clock a.m. my game finally started to work, but at this point I don't have any mods in the game, so I can't access the Future Life project without my mods. At least the mods we already used there. So instead I thought of starting this project, which is going to be the Lucca's Family Zoo, which kind of just, the game is in the title, I think it's called. It's gonna be just this friendly neighborhood zoo, which will be extremely family friendly, with some playgrounds and different things to keep children entertained and at the same time at still keeping up the welfare of the animals, of course. So that's what we're gonna look at today, guys. And as you can see here, I'm already mid-build at this point. I think most people by now maybe already figured out that it's an underwater viewing area we are going to do here. And I want it to be kind of realistic, but I also know I don't know enough of zoos to make it completely realistic. So I'm more going for possible build. But yeah, I wanted a nice viewing area underwater to begin with, because of course I need to tell you what we're doing. I thought we needed something that both children and adults will love, and I wanted a big animal since it's our first animals, but I don't want it to be too big, so it needs too big of a habitat for the beginning animal. So I thought, what is a big animal? That's the hippo. And how do we make the hippo smaller? That's pretty easy. We're just taking the Pygmy Hippo. Yeah, so that's what we're building for. Of course, if it was the full-size hippo we were building for, it would be a really small viewing area, this one. But yeah, I just built a kind of a basement here. And I tried to figure out how to get the ground close to the build, but still have this is without having the ground inside. And on one side here I wanted to have a staircase, but on the other side I want to be more of a wheelchair friendly entrance. All of the time you can see I keep changing up the terrain around, and that's mostly because I just really want to make sure that the water is gonna stay inside here. I think we all been making builds where great, it already crashed the first time here. So I'm just gonna cut a piece out. I'm pretty sure it crashed quite a few times. So maybe sometimes, so maybe there will be some footage where I'm doing the same things twice, and probably there will be a piece missing somewhere. But I'm pretty sure we all have made these builds where we made sure the water was there and it was perfect. Then we just go back and change one tiny thing, and suddenly the water just won't be there. And that's can be extremely frustrating. So the first thing I did with this build was just to make sure that it would fit. The water would be where it should be. So here I just do a little terrain on the water pool here. I made the building itself in the rustic stone pieces, but the water pool here I'm doing in concrete, because I kind of feel like that would be what the zoo would make it of. It's not the most pretty, and probably some zoos would really go in and try and hit the hide the concrete away so you couldn't see it with stones and maybe some fake flowers and something like that. But I feel like a starting zoo with only one animal wouldn't waste money on that. A new zoo would probably more be like, we need the basic, we need it to look pretty, but we won't waste money anywhere. So here I just go back and change up the pathing system so I can edit the terrain around, and then I go back afterwards and redo the pathing. The only reason I started with the pathing, it was because I really needed the grid to be the right height, so I actually added the first path before I did the lowest 2 meters of the build. This part here around the entrance really bugged me a lot. But I promise in the end I'm really happy about how it ended up. Here you can see I just do the same up here. And it was really raining when we built this. But that for me just adds some realism that you can't always be sure it's not raining when you do stuff in a zoo. And I know for my family, we actually love to visit zoos in the winter or in rain or something. Just every day where no one else want to be there, because that's really the only time I can be comfortable in a zoo. And since I was little, my parents also don't want to wait in line too long, so either do it days where other people are at work, if you can get a day off or something like that, or these rainy days, not the days where it's pouring rain all day. But honestly, you can still go. That just depends on which zoo you're going to. Personally, I love Knuthenborg Safari Park here in Denmark, where you actually just drive in with your own car, and there are signs all around the zoo where if any animal butcher your car, it's your own fault. Of course, there's a lot of security measures. For instance, when you drive in with the rhinos, you can see the animals. There are these. I'm not sure if it's jeeps or defenders or what it is, but big cars that have this kind of extra metal frame on out front, and they are just ready to drive right into a rhino if anything should happen. And of course, if it happened a lot, then it wouldn't. Of course, then you wouldn't be allowed to drive in with the rhinos. But they have this African area you can drive in, and the North America area you can drive in. So this is the path. I made it kind of a bit away from the entrance because I want to change the entrance when we get more money here. But pretty much this is what we ended up with. On the right side here you just have a wooden fence, and that's all of the staff area. Honestly, I just built it into the Hippo Habitat. Then we go up here, and oh, there's something I need to go in and change later with the fence here. The poles I used here was the temple pieces, and then I went into the fencing and the fence and found these small fence pieces, and then just used two wooden flexi-color beams to put it together. But here we got our hippos. I tried to make all of the plants some plants you could place there. Like, they wouldn't be too expensive. You don't want to go in and you need know some plants you really need to be aware of and always be on point with. Do they get too much water, too little water? We need to cut them here and there, and I didn't want that for this build. It needed to be easy. You got a small glimpse, I'm sorry, of the educational boards which I used before. It's from the workshop by Shesta. It's called Education, Aquatic and Various, and I will link it below. But here you can go down here, and that's the more handicap-friendly route. And here we got the education here, and I put in, yeah, we needed some donuts and some cosmic cow here. I think it would be a nice place to just get a snack and sit and look out here. The water level here would be at 2 meter height-ish, minus the path size. But here you can see, again, these flowers would be able to add on top, and they would reproduce fairly quickly, unless the hippos was too much pigment in it. But in the bottom I didn't add any flowers. I just added some details from the detail section in the construction menu. Here you can see they had this mud pole over here, and I just love this view. I think it's beautiful, and here from this point you can't see any of the concrete. Of course you can see it looking up right at the edge of the water, but that could also be stone or something like that. It doesn't seem too fake, but it's also kind of realistic, I think. So I think I managed this possible build. I'm sure some realistic builders would go in and point out a lot of stuff, but for me, I would say it's a possible build. But I think we should look a bit at the hippos a bit closer. Yeah, of course you're shitting. I love the thing the hippos do with its tail when it's pooping, which is a really smart thing for the hippo, especially for the males, because it spread their scents and it's their way of marking their area. It's not that smart in a zoo, but it is smart in the wild. And you can see here we already got a baby. That's the plus of the way I build. I always add the animals fairly quickly. I think it's nice to have them in and also to have an idea of size of things and also which plants they like and terrain and doing it more spot on. And also I can put the camera in the different angles to make sure I can see the animals from those angles, and that also makes it possible for me to have babies fairly quickly. But I think our little friend here are going to go for a swim, so let's see. I really like the way they swim in this game. They really made the swimming simulation well, beside the point where they don't actually swim. The only thing I'm sad about here is you can't see on the plants when the hippo touching is. Normally they would be pulled aside. But down here you can see, and now all of its friends joins. I did use vents down here, I think they're called, both so you can clean the water while they're using it, but also that you could just empty it once in a while and do like a deep clean, which it kind of needs at this point. Yeah, look at its feet when it's kind of that second where it kind of just floats in the water. But as you can see here, I placed all of the dirt and all of the algae on the bottom because it would float down there, and especially because the Pygmy Hippos walks on the bottom and not just up in the water, they would really keep these algae and dirt moving around until it hit rock bottom. At this point you can see the viewing area in the background, which I think was done fairly well, if I can say so myself. The baby here. I think we will stay in this zoo at least until the release date of the new DLC. I am planning on getting it. I'm not planning of being overly happy about it because there's just some animals in it where I think, yeah, but we already got that. I don't feel like we need another caiman. I do think like the platypus and the capybara is real nice. I needed to research. I needed to Google like 6 of the animals to figure out what they were. But I think I'm gonna stop here for today. I'm so sorry all of this shit happened, and I hope the next episode will be better. I really hope I can get back in our Future Life Africa project, but I don't think so. So I will work a bit on it, but either way, we have another place here to play until it works. And to be honest, this zoo would also be a perfect place both for the capybara and the platypus. And until next time, guys, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell of notifications so you know the next time I drop an episode or just something. So I really hope to see you again, either in the comments below or in the next video. Have a good day, guys. Bye.